all right. It's Uppity Unicorn, and we are going to be talking about Ava DuVernay with her Black American self casting Tether Cynthia Erivo as Chaka Khan in a biopic. Why, Ava? Why? So, just to go over why this is such a big deal, I have to take you back to the disrespectful comments and suggestions Cynthia Erivo made in the past, as late as I believe 2017, about Black Americans. So I will go on ahead and read from this article here. Should I share this on the screen so you guys can follow along? Let me just remove Chaka here, who, by the way, Chaka Khan is a Black American Aborigine. That is a copper colored Indian. That is a me. That is a me. That is not a person from Nigeria. That is not a person from Ghana, Mali, Songhai Empire. That is a Sioux and Blackfoot woman who is an American Aborigine in as much as I am a Choctaw, Chickasaw, Washita, whose ancestral lands for centuries and beyond are the Deep South and Mesoamerica. She should be played. But I mean, in my personal opinion, I'm like, somebody tap SZA. SZA's real name is literally Solana. Like, there's a movement for Black Americans to start using this word again, Solan and Solana. That's like somebody being called Fulan, male, and Fulani, female, or whatever these gendered words are. It's like Latino and Latina, Solan and Solani and Solana. Like, what I don't have a problem with fictional characters being played by anybody, anywhere. Annie can be played by anybody of any color. The Little Mermaid can be played by anybody of any color. But when it is somebody, when it's a historical figure, I have a problem with that person being played outside of their ethnicity. I will never forget, I believe it was an interview with Diane Sawyer where she asked Michael Jackson on account of his vitiligo and being whiter than most white people, well, looks like you want to be white. Would you mind if somebody played a white person played you in a movie? And he damn near cried. He's like, no, I'm a Black American and I'm a proud Black American. I would not want somebody white playing me in a movie. Like I'm this way because of my culture. Don't do this. And sure enough, in his death, a movie came out where a white American was playing him. And just to cop a squat on that man's legacy like that, when he literally said, I don't want this, for them to force it anyway. It's like how Justin Timberlake was using images of Prince when he performed, I don't know if it was some kind of Minnesota Super Bowl, and Prince is just like, I find all this certain kind of technology, I find it disturbing and I don't want to be part of that. Whatever these holograms are, using my voice, my image, like no, I don't want it. And still, and actually, to add insult to injury, Justin and Prince were actually in a little bit of a beef. So for Justin to be performing Prince's songs and his death, I mean, it is really worthy of an ass whooping. Prince and Justin allegedly got into it over Sexy Back. So Justin is like, "Oh, I'm bringing Sexy back," and Prince was like, "Yeah, Sexy never left. Like, bitch, I've been here. Fuck is you talking about?" And then Justin hit him back with a diss track, like, you're just mad you didn't come up with it. Um, so anyhow, you have these people who have no problem disrespecting Black American culture, Black American people, Black American legacy, and then they turn around and play us and benefit from us. And this is why we call them tethers, because you latch onto us. Some way, somehow, you latch onto us, onto the culture, and you benefit while denigrating us. And that shit is offensive. And you don't have to be Black to find that offensive. You don't have to be anything to know that. I mean, disrespect is disrespect in all colors. So, with that being said, I'm going to just remove this image and present my screen here so you can read along this article with me. I'll go Atlanta Black Star. She has very unlikable energy. And this unlikable energy really, really, really and truly gives. And let me check my microphone. All I need is one mic. All right. it's going. So this unlikable energy really gives Tyler. It really gives Tyler because people for the life of them, they can't figure out why Tyla, who is so pretty and has this pretty voice and has these breakout hits, Water and Art. And it's like, well, why can't she make it's like she has white supremacist energy. She has anti-black energy. Oh, it's just her culture in South Africa. And we think of it this way. Yeah, your culture. You mean apartheid, right? You mean living in a post-apartheid, like a post-Jim Crow America, right? We didn't get rid of apartheid until the 90s. That's not even 40 years ago. So even the idea of you being colored, like literally these things they try to talk to black Americans like we're stupid. And I'm like, the idea of you being colored comes from Jim Crow. Apartheid was based on Jim Crow. So that no coloreds allowed, blah blah blah, colored drinking fountain, white drinking fountain. Like you talk to us like that shit is new to us. Like, bitch, our oppression was the blueprint for your people's oppression. Are you okay? And that's a historical fact. That's not a historical interpretation. That's not an interpretation. You do your research on the time periods, you compare and contrast, and you do what I did when I studied abroad in Cape Town, South Africa, and you figure out real quick their apartheid was built and based on the system of Jim Crow. So like, oh, me being colored and you having a problem with me being colored is just because we have a different no, nigga. We know exactly what this is and it's disrespectful. We don't like that shit. You like that shit. And I mean, in America, it's not like we don't have a number of mixed people and their white parents, specifically their white moms, teaching them that they are superior to Black Americans who do not have a white parent. Like, it's not like they act like because it's across the pond or overseas that like we can't get it and we don't understand the cultural context. And I'm just like, you're just an ass and you're not likable. We can't do nothing with that, especially if you come over here disrespecting the culture first. It would be one thing if you came over here like Doja Cat. Black Americans are in a very unhealthy relationship with Doja Cat, myself included, because we didn't know her to be that way when she got big. So by the time all the anti-black sentiment came out with her hanging out in white supremacist chat groups and, saying things that I can't repeat in praise of white supremacy and not liking her fan base that is probably, however much black, like that was newer to us. She came and she made her splash before that had been exposed. And because of things like that, people are more prudent. They're more diligent in researching people. We find black actors and we're just like, oh, he's so fine. He's so this. I wonder if he likes black women. Matter of fact, let me check his history because the last thing I want to be supporting is another Omari Hardwick, as another fine ass black man who can't wait to denigrate a black woman, who can't wait to talk down, to condescend to a black woman in the name of a white woman, like he did at the airport in this viral situation where a black lady fan was trying to get his attention and he cussed her out. Like she was disrespecting his white wife, and then his white wife is like, "Oh, she penned an open letter to Black American. I'm sorry, I took a strong black man from you." Like, bitch, first the fucking ball. If he was a strong black man, he wouldn't be with you. Let's start the fuck there. Like, congratulations, like you have a black man, right? Our cultural interpretation, which Omari can't change and his white wife can't change, our cultural interpretation of a strong black man is a Malcolm X who had all these white women throwing themselves at him and still Betty Shabazz, because strong black men build strong black families. They're gatekeepers of the culture. They're freedom fighters for the culture. They're Medgar Evers. They're Medgar Evers and his black wife. They are Martin Luther King and his black wife. Now, allegedly, he did a lot of cheating with Becky, whatever. But the point is, our saying strong black man does not mean he goes to the gym. Our saying of strong black man does not mean that he's buff, that he can run fast, that he can swim far, that he can jump high. Our saying of strong black man looks like I'm married to a black wife. Our saying of strong black man does not consist of black men who only date black women but are Umar Johnson and 50 something years old and haven't married a black woman and haven't built a black family and haven't been a black father. That our cultural saying excludes him because of you. And you cannot rip that from its context. And any black man dissatisfied with that can also not rip that from its context. That's what is meant by strong black man. That he is so strong, not just physically, but in his mind and in his self esteem, that he chooses his reflection. So, Atlanta Black Star, right? She has Cynthia Erivo, has very unlikable energy. Wicked actress Cynthia Erivo's past disrespectful tweets resurfaced ahead of the film with Ariana Grande. And this is by Nicole Duncan Smith. If you are in here, if you could please hit the like button. Please hit screen. Let's go. Tony Award winner Cynthia Erivo is making history as the first Black actress to play Elphaba in Wicked. Now, let's just stop there. You wonder why she's the first Black actress to play Elphaba. You want to know why? Because she's UK Nigerian. That's why. That's why, because a Black American, a culturally Black American, a foundational Black American, an Aborigine, copper colored, indigenous Black American whose ethnogenesis was on the land of America, whose ancestry is Aborigine, African, white. That group of people, we understand this for what it is. We understand you posing as an ugly witch next to Lily White, Ariana Grande. We know that this is the wet dream and the fantasy of white supremacy. We know what that is, and that's why we don't play her. We know what that is, that's why we don't play her. We don't play Elphaba. You can't get one of us to take the role. Not a respectable, upstanding, like you can't get an Angela Bassett to take the role. Because we know that that shit is racist. It doesn't matter how powerful of a performance. It doesn't matter how powerful of a voice. We know that that's the wet dream of white supremacy. To have your big black, so-called ugly nose, ugly face, ugly whatever, your inferior ass pose next to Lily White, dainty, demure, in contrast. We say fuck that contrast. You don't, because you don't have that consciousness, because you don't belong to our culture. So just the first sentence. How are you making history as the first Black actress to play Elphaba in Wicked when it's been here so long? It's because we don't take that role. We think more of our people, more of ourselves. We think more of our representation. We're not white supremacists. We're not going to let Black be called ugly in juxtaposition to white. But you are, because you're eager for the role, eager to please, eager to get into this. And I do think Cynthia Erivo is, a lot like Tyla, and that and a lot of what I've come across when I look at this whole fake ass diaspora war. I don't know why people even call it that. It's not even a war, it's a massacre. It's the diaspora against Black Americans, and that's it. That's it. I mean, we just made friends with Black Scots, and hey, Black Scots, I mean, we just got to know one another. The Nigerian Blacks, especially, the UK Blacks, especially, they can't wait to talk some shit to a Black American. And Cynthia Erivo is no different. All these diaspora wars that you see online and all these nasty things you say, oh, I can't marry a Black American. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to be with someone who's got culture. And it's like, bitch, the whole world copies our culture. That's why you're confused about whether or not we have a culture, because it's so popular. It's in such demand. You can't fathom that it comes from us, because nobody's out here imitating you like that. Nobody's out here doing you the way people are out here doing us. Nobody's out here doing your big singer the way they're doing our big singers, the way they're doing our Whitney, our Michael, our Beyonce, Michael Jackson. Like it's not happening to you that way. So you don't get it. You think what we have belongs to everybody. No problem. That is my one of my panelists. This was supposed to be a panel. I'm not quite sure if it's still going to be, but it was supposed to look a little bit like this. I digress. I am going to continue reading. So, the Broadway star who has transitioned to the big screen as Harriet Tubman in the movie Harriet 2019 and Aretha Franklin in Genius, God damn it, in 2021 has come under fire over several old tweets that some have deemed disrespectful to Black Americans. For years, Erivo has proudly celebrated her Nigerian and British roots, but critics say her remarks on social media show disdain for Black Americans, even as she takes on roles that center Black American stories. And that's insult to injury, you guys. That's insult to injury. I don't have to tell you about Erivo when you can go on social media at any time and listen at these Nigerians, especially these British Nigerians, these UK blacks, handing us our asses. And I'm just like, we're not even in conversation with you. We don't even know who you are. We don't even know where you're from. We have just now, in the past couple of years, gotten in like this one-way beef. Of course, now we're offended and now we're saying fuck you. And now we're all over social media having these movements about blocking and boycotting these people. But that was it was a one-way beef for so long. And I'm gonna let Godfrey talk about that. And let me just say this before I read the end of the article, because a lot of people have a problem with Godfrey defending Black Americans because he too is a Nigerian American. The good thing about Godfrey is that he's like Saul turned Paul. Y'all remember in the Bible, Saul of Tarsus, he used to burn Christians alive. He was the Hitler of the Christians. And then he became Christian. And then Paul ended up writing so much of the New Testament. It's like amazing grace happened to him, like it happened to the white guy who wrote the song. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. Yes, Godfrey used to talk that shit. And now he's the number one advocate against talking like that. And that's all you can ask of a person is repentance. All you can ask of a person is sincere repentance, apology, moving on and moving in the other direction. There's this little white boy on TikTok who goes live and he's constantly like handing the asses of racists to themselves. I think when he was 13 or 14, he said the N word, while he was gaming. And a black person called him out for that and was just like, oh, well, blah, 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 you're racist and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I heard you got kicked out by your brother. And he's like, okay, well, why did I get kicked out by my brother? Because of your liberal views and blah, 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 blah. But you're over here. And he's like, okay, so that means I'm not faking it, right? Because you just got here and you told me I was faking my respect for Black Americans. You told me I was faking it, and still you're here telling me my brother kicked me out on account of me defending Black people, on account of me telling white people they're racist, on account of me. Clearly, it's a real thing for me. And I would go as far to say that that's the deal with Justin Bieber too. There's this old footage of Justin Bieber when he's like 13, and he's like, "What kind of sound does a chainsaw make?" Run, nigger, 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 run, and he thought it was so funny. And this man, as a grown man, everywhere he goes, he's finding his salvation in Black people and specific Black women for whatever reason. Y'all saw that viral moment where he's on stage with SZA, and I don't know if he's high or what, but he gets stuck, and SZA just kind of helps him. And then there was a viral comment where somebody was just like, Justin Bieber looks miserable, and we never see him smile unless he's with Black people. So, with that being acknowledged, all you can ask of a person is to acknowledge that they're wrong and repent. And I don't know why you would punish somebody who has reformed their ways. So I'm going to keep reading here. For years, Erivo has proudly celebrated her Nigerian and British roots, but critics say her remarks on social media show disdain for Black Americans, even as she takes on roles that center Black Americans. One X user, particular Ebo Peep, has done an extensive breakdown of the star's comments and history of what the user deems having very anti-Black American statements, despite her insistence that she would never want to perpetuate negativity. And the thing is, when people say that, I would never do that. I would never, you already did it though. What do you mean you would never do it and you did it? It's like, I would never, I would no, it's was taken out of context. No, just fucking say sorry. Just apologize. Just say that was weak bitch shit and you're over it. But the thing is, you can't apologize when you're not sorry. You can't repent when you're not repentant. Like, you can't get the words to come out of your mouth. So here we have the detailed thread has resurfaced on X, highlighting several times Erivo was insinuated to have mocked Black Americans while hyping up her Nigerian and British background. We know that is what her people do. I'm sorry, but we see this as the norm, right? Because I've seen UK blacks and UK Nigerians be like, you guys have to hop up off of black Americans, let them have their things. I've seen them defend us, but they be in the minority, defending us, sweet, good hearts, whatever, but they be in the minority and they know they are, right? So this part of their culture, it seems. The tweets left a sour taste for many who feel she's been dismissive of the very community she profits from. And let me just say, this is what qualifies you as a tether. Because we're not all anti, like, we don't, Black Americans don't just hate Jamaicans or hate Nigerians or whatever, but it's this tether shit that's a problem when you diss us and benefit off of us at the same time. Cynthia, nobody's looking for you to play a Nigerian role. Nobody's asked you to be Nala, African, whatever, lying, like literally you're playing Negroes. You're playing Negroes. All right, so one of the tweets that added fuel to the fiery uproar dates back to 2013 when Erivo said she was using a ghetto American accent but went on to write using African American vernacular. So clock that T. Erivo was using or one of the tweets that added fuel to the fiery uproar is when Erivo was said she was using, so from her own mouth, she said she was using a ghetto American accent, but went on to write using African American vernacular. So Ebonics, AAVE, BAVE, whatever you want to call it. In the January 2013 tweets, Erivo begins by saying, I suppose I should really make an attempt to record signal properly. So she wrote a song called Signal and said she should record it properly. But I guess when she wrote the song, she was trying to sound like an American Negro. And here are the lyrics right here. A Caucasian friend responded to the tweet writing at Cynthia Erivo, or attempt to sing to me daily, to which Erivo writes, Joel Montague, ghetto American accent. Baby, you know I got you. I'ma sing it to you, but I still gotta do what I gotta do. You feel me? Like look at this. This is her talking to a white guy. And it's this kind of behavior where they mock Black Americans to white people as if to like snuggle up to them. And we see this behavior over and over. When you go to predominantly white institution, PWI universities, you see this behavior from so many Africans where they will dog you in order to. It's like how some Black men, when they date white women, you see them on these pop balloon shows, and the host is like, all right, well, what turns you on about a woman? What do you dislike about a woman? I don't date Black women. And the guy's like, well, we didn't ask you what race of women. We just said, well, I don't like loud women. It's like, okay, well, loud comes in every color. We're asking you. And then the white girls would be up there, and he thought that he was, like bending over and like bending the knee to these white girls. And the white girls are like, actually, I'm pretty loud, so I'm gonna pop my balloon, you know, because they're not with that self-hating shit either. And I'm like, if you commandeered yourself a white girl who was with that self-hating bullshit, you didn't actually do well. You didn't actually do well. There are plenty of paramours, plenty of Halseys, plenty of white girls who are just like, they respect the culture, they respect the people, and they date interracially, and they're wonderful to bring home. They're wonderful to bring home to the family. But now you have some self-hating ass biracial kid because you have a mom who was an anti-Black racist and a father who was an anti-Black racist. And the white woman, even if she's an anti-Black racist, she's not going to give up, especially some fat Newport smoking, the kind of white girl that a self-respecting white man would never touch. She gets to go, Dante, right? She gets to be Ann Coulter with a Black man because I've internalized racism. Now, I'm not saying all the Black men are this way. Please don't hear me the wrong way. I'm just making a point about how there are self-hating Black people of all groups, including my own, who, in order to seek the means of nearness to white people, they will bow and scrape by insulting Black people, and specific insulting Black women, making a mockery of these people. Well, I like girls with real hair. And the white girl's like, surprise, surprise. I love my extensions and I absolutely feel naked without my extensions. So I'm going to pop my balloon. And it's like, yeah, nigga, you thought you were doing something. Go the fuck home. Go to therapy. Go love your mom. What is wrong with you? Hype that white girl up for who she is. Like do that without denigrating us. Tell her she's dope. Tell her there's all kind of things to say. Well, because of a black woman, like, bro, leave us out of your relationship. That conversation has been run into the ground thanks to the gender war. So I'm going to keep reading. Well, there's this. Cynthia Erivo wants to play famous Black Americans while disrespecting Black Americans. That's my issue, one person tweeted, and it's a valid ass issue. In 2019, during an interview with the Shadow and Act at the Toronto International Film Festival, she addressed the ghetto American remark while promoting the topic, the Harriet biopic or biopic. She said, I would say it took a lot of hard work to get to the place of playing Harriet Tubman, and I didn't take it lightly. I love this woman and I love Black people, full stop. It would do me no service. It would be like hating myself. Sure. But we've seen these people already. We've seen the Black UK, whatever, and they are very, proud of being Nigerian and proud of being, but they still have this thing that they do specifically to Black Americans where they are anti-Black and where they show themselves being adjacent to white supremacy. Quote, as for the tweets taken out of context without giving me the room to tell you what it meant, and it wasn't mocking anyone really, she continued, saying it was a throwback to an inside joke connected to a song she once written as a teen. We read it, Cynthia. We read it, Cynthia. There was no way to take it out of context. That's all the context you gave. We read the fullness of the comment and we were like, okay, well, this is some bullshit. And when given the opportunity to apologize, because apparently it was either Nia Long or Regina King who grabbed her by the arm and was just like, "Oh, I wanted to talk about these comments, and that you made about Black people, and are you willing to publicly apologize?" And she was like, "Well, instead of worrying about, and this is allegedly, instead of worrying about some words that I said, some few little words that I said, why don't you worry about the, bettering your people and unity and blah blah." Like basically like dodging the apology the way Tyler tried to dodge, being Black on the Breakfast Club. It's like, all right, like you could say whatever the fuck you want to say. You're free to say and feel and do however you want to, but understand that has consequences in the community that you're trying to benefit from. And that's why I'm looking at Ava DuVernay crazy, because I'm just like, my guy, like, you a whole sister. Like, you from here, like I'm from here. Your ancestors are from here, like mine are from here. So what is this? Anyhow, I've never spoken negatively about people because I don't want that. I don't want energy from me to others, Erivo said. I don't believe that serves us at all. I don't believe it serves a purpose other than bringing negativity into my life and your life. And I just don't want that. She continued, denying she meant anything by it. Bitch, this is the kind of shit that is the problem. And so later, I guess they sent her on her tour licking, the asses of Black American pop stars. So she's like, oh, Cisco did not have to go that hard on the thong song. He sang it like it was a church song. And then he just, whatever. It's like, yeah, we know Cisco tore that shit up. Brought to you by Black Ingenuity. And praising Beyonce and praising Cisco isn't the same as apologizing for the shit you said. So anyhow, this has done very little to subside the rhetoric from her critics. The Mistress of Chaos writes, well, there's this. Cynthia Erivo wants to play famous Black Americans while disrespecting Black Americans. That's my issue. And you see her here, this white apologist of, Cynthia Erivo replying to someone here. It says, this is so wrong. Same people that will shout racism at a white man, not realizing how damaged they are themselves. It's not new that some African Americans are just jealous of Africans. When I tell you for the life of me, I don't know a nigga jealous of an African. And it's saying a lot because I'm from Seattle. Seattle is African as hell. We have a gang of East Africans and a gang of West Africans. It reminds me of Washington, D.C., like how Habesha, Washington, D.C. is. Seattle is one of the top 5 places for a Somali to go. Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul being number freaking 1. We are number 2 or damn 3. And for the life of me, coming from the Central District of Seattle, a historically black community, I could not find a nigga that was jealous of an African. What are you talking about? Call it what it really is and have some nuance. Annoyed, maybe, upset by, offended by. People always act like if somebody upsets you or, what, like you are jealous of them. Like, nah, maybe I don't fuck with you like that. Maybe I'm not fucking with it. And it doesn't have anything to do with jealousy. It has something to do with disrespect. And like literally, I was such a Pan Africanist at the time. I took a lot of abuse from Africans in the name of being a Pan Africanist, in the name of building a cultural bridge from the Black Student Union to the African Student Union at the University of Washington while I was an undergrad. And the type of shit that they would say about Black people was off the fucking wall. And I wish that I was then who I am now, because me today would have cracked some fucking heads, but me yesterday was a super duper Christian. I wouldn't even say shit, damn, or fuck. I would just try to show them the love of Christ, like, "Oh, well, I'm such a good little Negro, like, maybe you should change your mind," and all they did was like, "Oh, you're an exception to the rule," like some bullshit that white people would say, like, "Oh, you're not like the other blacks, you're a credit to your race." Anyhow, y'all are cracking me up, Dragon Cynthia. I didn't know she was so hated. Over here, you have the tweet where she is talking to Joel Montague, some white man, in a ghetto American accent. Right? You have this here where she's like literally mocking black people to entertain this white man. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? It is very possible to love all black people except for black Americans, and we see the diaspora do it all the time. I don't know why they want to play with us, but they do. Um, Then we have, reading the rest of this, it says, in multiple tweets from 2017, Erivo was seemingly dismissive of African Americans' feelings towards non-African American actors portraying African American historical figures. So during the online discourse, one Twitter user suggested that they equally believe that African actors should have the first crack at African roles, to which Erivo replied, "And as an African, I believe that in some cases that isn't right. Um, my place of birth or a person's place of birth should not determine the realms." Bullshit, because okay, good. So the Lion King thing is here. Bullshit. You're gonna listen to her contradict herself right now. She went on to say African Americans on screen, or the girl went on to say African American on screen, but you love, British black actors. I can't make sense of it. And honestly, I wish you the best, but we won't solve this tonight. And another past tweet, when she took digs at Beyonce for Disney considering her to play Nala in the live action CGI version of Lion King. So she takes shots at Beyonce. Like Beyonce wasn't good enough to play Nala. Beyonce got a lot of backlash for that. Cynthia wrote, raises hand nervously, then says, "Can I try?" Erivo replied in a response to a tweet by Essence magazine announcing that Beyonce was being considered for the role of Nala. When another Twitter user replied to Erivo saying, "Yes, please, Queen. By the way, Beyonce is much too old for Nala." A second fan corrected that stating that Erivo and Beyonce were around the same age. This nigga Cynthia, this Erivo says Beyonce is about 12 years older than me. The fan hits back, "You 30, sis? Beyonce's 35. Not that much apart. Girl." And here, Cynthia Erivo was born in January 1987, while Beyonce was born in 1981. So she's how many years older than you, Cynthia? Quote, "I see some are talking about her comments on Beyonce, but Cynthia Erivo used to sit on this app and say horrible things about Black Americans in the USA on a regular basis," one person tweeted, adding, "And like many, while being anti-Black American, she finds herself obsessed with Black American cultural expression. Another voyeur of Black American culture with anti-Black American sentiment." And this is that Tether shit. Because the way these people will like day in and day out have conversations that are based all around us. You see so many of these African podcasts based around us. The whole conversation is about us. And I'm just like, who is even in conversation with you right now? We're not even talking to you. Like we noticed the phenomenon before we were even able to clap back. We were like, is this what y'all do? You're a voyeur. You're always watching us. You're like a peeping Tom looking through your blinds, watching us dress and undress. You can't stop watching, but you're still anti us. That's unsafe. I'm like, we don't barely know what you're doing. We can't name your great big celebrities because we're not into you like that. Genuinely not into you like that. But the way you name all of our things and are always watching and always trying to like it's weird for you to hate and obsess. Like if I don't like somebody, like there are things that I don't watch because I don't like them people. I don't like what they make. I don't like what they stand for. I'm not in MAGA chat rooms. I'm not in MAGA, get togethers, voter registration, whatever it is. I don't do that because I don't like them people. But you have these groups of people who they cannot stand Black Americans, and for the life of them, they eat, sleep, breathe Black American culture. And it's like, what are you doing? They casted an African who's anti-Black American to play Harriet Tubman, and that's insult to ancestral injury. That is insult to ancestral injury. And moreover, there was a time where Cynthia Erivo wouldn't come out about what Nigerian tribe she is because there's a group of Nigerians. There are a couple of tribes who sold specific groups of people. Allegedly, specific Hebrews and specific whatever were sold from the west of Africa, kidnapped and sold, and allegedly she belongs to a seller of the people who went on to have that ethnogenesis that created Harriet Tubman. Because people are like, oh, African American. Harriet Tubman could navigate that way because she was a Moor. Like she knew these stars and she knew her way north, not because she was, some slave fresh off of a boat who couldn't tell north from south, east from west, sunrise from sunset. Like she was a Moor. Moors are navigators. Moors know these stars, they know these constellations. It like, girl, bye. Ironically, the color purple star, that kills me to call her that. The color purple star has protested against what she considers cultural appropriation when it comes down to people playing African roles and not being from the continent. So you get it when it comes to your African people, but you don't get it when it comes to Black American. So in 2016, before being cast as the Black Moses, Harriet Tubman, she tweeted, "It saddens me that such a wonderful multicultural season on Broadway is a piece set in Africa and not one POC, hashtag Prince of Egypt." When someone replied, "Oh, there's one, Celia Pfeiffer," highlighting a Zimbabwe born American actress in the cast. She dismissed her African identity. Cynthia Erivo, "It saddens me that after such a wonderful multicultural season on Broadway, a piece set in Africa has not one POC, Prince of Egypt," right? Crying about this thing not having proper representation, which is a valid thing to whine about. But when we do it, it doesn't fuck. It's like Black Americans are not human. Like we shouldn't be offended by the same things other people are offended by. And so this person's like, "Oh, there's one," right? REG. And she's like, "The piece is set in ancient Egypt, i.e., Africa, where people darker than I resided." That is my point. And that's basically a girl bye. Like what is one person when you're talking about a piece in Egypt, when you're talking about ancient Egypt? And the thing is, I agree with Cynthia here, but for some reason, you get it when it comes to your people. You don't get it when it comes to mine. And that's why I can't respect you. I could respect you if it went both ways and if you had a standard that applied all across the board, but it's only when it's convenient for you. So she wrote in a now deleted tweet, "The piece is set in Egypt, where people darker than I resided. That's my point." While promoting her new film, Wicked, she had an issue with a fan generated poster that seemed to have covered her face and highlighted her co star, Ariana Grande. Right? This. She voiced her disappointment, stating, "This is the wildest, most offensive thing I have seen. Equal to that is that awful AI of us fighting. Our poster is um, it's homage and not an imitation. To edit my face and hide my eyes is to erase me. That is just deeply hurtful." And this is again her reacting to this. But you put yourself in this position. You put yourself in the position to be ugly ass Elphaba. You put yourself in the position to have your African features used as ugly witch. And so, of course, somebody's going to disrespect you. This is why Black American women know better than to take this role. We let white girls put on makeup and prosthetics and play these roles. This is why you're the first to do that. It's not like it was never offered to a broad-nosed Negro. We said no because we're just like, we know what the racial implication is here. That you're subhuman, that you're sub Ariana Grande, that you're beneath. And now you're mad at somebody acting like you're beneath by turning you into an object to the point you don't even have eyes. You're just a prop next to Ariana. That's what the whole movie's about. And by the way, I didn't watch it. I don't watch Cynthia Erivo movies. Again, when I don't like something, I stay away from it. And yet you have these people who they don't like Black Americans and they obsess. They eat, sleep, breathe Black American culture. I was watching a UK Brit and a goddamn do-rag talk about Black Americans. And I'm like, if you don't take that shit off your head, that is not a kufi. That is not a turban. What the hell? That is uniquely us on your head while you're talking crazy. Are you even okay? For her, this was an issue of erasure. Supporters argue that, imagine this is an issue of erasure for her, but when we talk about her playing our greats and it's an issue of erasure for us, she doesn't get it. Supporters argue that Erivo's talent and dedication to honoring Black stories can't be ignored. Yes, it can. They say her work speaks louder than any old tweets and believe the backlash is overblown. No, it's not. One person who defended her was singer Janelle Monáe. Of course you would. Of course you would, Janelle. Shitless at Janelle Monáe since the Popeyes shit and defending anti-blackness from the likes of Cynthia Erivo and Lovey and Cynthia for her disrespect to her Black Americans and fucking up Harriet. Janelle can keep her weak voice and Cynthia and Cynthia can keep her soulless sound. One person tweeted, let me tell you something about fucking Lovey, okay? Because Lovey is gonna come up again in another article that I pulled up. It's her name is like Lovey AJ Luvvie. Lovey. She wrote this Lovey is not a fucking Black American. It's a Nigerian. And she wrote a blog post about the worst Black American names. And a bunch of Africans were on the thread talking about Black American names. And when I tell you I went my Black ass there and I saw my own fucking name, I don't know who Lovey is, and I don't even know the person who put my name. But I ran into a comment. It said, get this, Chocolate Angel. And it wouldn't be the first time I had my name dragged by an African. And I'm like, I'm sorry, my name isn't Bantaba. What do you want me to do? I am Choctaw Chocolate. My name is cultural. Like, this is what the fuck it's supposed to sound like. It's what it's supposed to be. Spelling and everything. And the woman went in on my grandmother's spelling of my name, blah, blah, just all kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's what I mean about unprovoked. That's what I mean about unprovoked. It's like, what the hell even? Hey, Jazz, you're here twice. Okay, now you're here once. How's your sound? Exactly, Zane Good. Zane says, can we just have FBAs play FBAs? Do you want to do a sound check? Okay, so I am going to Janelle Monáe, since that Popeyes shit and defending anti-blackness from the likes of Cynthia Erivo and Lovey, and Cynthia for her disrespect towards Black Americans and fucking up Harriet, Janelle can keep her weak voice. You know, there's something that happens on TikTok where they want to put stuff about empowering Black Americans and they put that goddamn fake ass Negro spiritual, I've been walking, and I'm like, you fucked up the whole thing for me. Please don't try to send me an encouraging shit about my people and put her sound on it. That's like the whole, whenever somebody wants to make a political point on TikTok, they're like, this is America. Don't get you slipping out. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Childish Gambino, this David Glover talked about how he bust the hardest nut in his life when a white girl said, fuck me harder, nigger. So respectfully, don't put him on no pro-Black shit. Like, he is absolutely pro-Black male. But there's a reason Beyonce was like, yeah, swarm on these hands, nigga. I guess he made that movie Swarm where it was to imply that, Beyonce has a cult in the Beehive, which is weird. I mean, Beyonce and Childish Gambino, Danny Glover, as far as I know, they've worked with one another. But I think it might have been her first Renaissance like thing when she was in her little bee costume. She's like Swarm on these hands. And the movie's called Swarm, and it's about how dangerous the beehive can be. Anyhow, I don't have that for. If there's a black man who outwardly does not love black women, don't put him on no collectively black shit for me. Like if it's in celebration of black men, fine. Add Danny Glover. But if it's, oh my God, I looked at her and she said, "Fuck me harder, nigger," and I just came the hardest that I ever have in my life. Like, mm, mm. When you're doing a movie and you're Mr. and Mrs. Smith and the woman is Asian, when you're doing a show and it's called Atlanta and you have some irate, unattractive black woman screaming at your lily white girl, jealous, like, "Oh, I took this black man from you." It's like, "Yeah, white girl, I'm talking to you." I mean, this black woman was acting so ugly, just ugly, irrational, hateful. And the white girl is it's a cast, right? It's something Danny Glover wrote. It's his wet dream. And she's like, "Well, maybe he's with me because I'm a good woman." And this irate black woman is just screaming at the girl, insulting her the whole time, victimizing this white girl. And I'm just like, "Bitch, in your dreams, in real life, we don't even look at you guys. In real life, every black woman I know has the experience where an interracial couple, white girl, black man, walks past them and they give them some kind of energy. Like they expect you to hate or they expect you to be jealous. They want your attention. And black women all over America started to ignore these couples and then report that, the same thing happens. Like they try to get in their face. I could be at the fucking Starbucks as a barista taking the order of an interracial couple, and the black man is rude to me and the white girl is looking at me like I want something I don't, and I'm just like, "Bitch, this smile is customer motherfucking service. I don't want your nigga, and I'm not a size 22 like you, so apparently I don't even physically qualify. Would you like a latte?" It's just weird, passive aggressive nonsense. And black men say that they have an experience with that too. So black women, when these interracial white female black male couples, they treat us like we're haters. Even if we're ignoring them, even if we're smiling happy, it's like it's a kink for them. Whereas black men will be like, "Man, every time I walk past a black man, white woman, a couple, he looks at me like he did something wrong." I don't like, bro, that's your girl. Like just be you. I don't care. So these experiences, Jazz, I just want to hear your
Can you hear me?
characterization. Yes, I can hear you, and you sound
Oh,
good.
okay. Girl, I don't know what was going on with my work headphones, but they were not connected to my personal computer. But whatever. Anyway, how you be?
I've been good, girl. I think I've been talking up here, monologuing for damn near an hour, and I'm still not done. Let
Girl,
me,
this
because
was
I
this
have
was
some
a lot
videos
to
to play.
unpack because
It's a
it's
lot to unpack.
nuanced.
It's nuanced and it becomes more and more with every role that Cynthia takes. This thing gets more layered. So
Mm-hmm.
this comment says, "But others aren't letting it slide, calling her out for what they see as a pattern of benefiting from Black American culture without fully respecting it." And again, that is tantamount to being a tether. The problem is
Mm-hmm.
benefiting because really, Black people, when you see us on TikTok with these Scottish people, like we just love everybody Black. We just want to high five everybody. But it's when and will
Mm-hmm.
benefit you. There are Black people in Scotland who are just like, "Oh my God, Black Americans, the platform you've given me, the attention you've given me." I saw a white girl on TikTok the other day, and she was cracking up. She was just, I mean, shining all her teeth. She was just like, "When I tell you white Americans are obsessed with Black Americans, when I tell you all we do is think about what you guys do, including the ones that hate you." So what she was saying, her commentary was on the fact that Black Scots blew up. And she's just like, Black Scots blew up because Black Americans were paying them attention, and white people in America are
Facts.
always checking for what the Black American is doing. So if we're looking at you, the world is looking at you
Mm-hmm.
because we got a problem with this group of people who was always having us under surveillance, and they want to see what's making us happy. I remember when oxtails used to be it used to be cheap, and the white people found out we were enjoying ourselves, and now we can't afford them. I remember when
Come on.
scallops used to be cheap.
Come
When,
on.
when what you put in a gumbo used to be cheap, and white folk found out we were enjoying ourselves, and now you can't barely afford the pot.
Girl,
And
how
so
is
these
chitlins
black
a delicacy
Scots,
now?
I mean, chitlins, the intestines of a pork, intestines of a pork, of a pig. But it's like people find out we're enjoying ourselves and they're just like, yeah, let's take it. I'll take that.
Hmm.
We'll be living in the ghetto
Don't
on a
even want
land
it.
nobody wants. Don't even want the
Hmm.
land. That's why we ended up on it. We build a
Hmm.
town. We build Oscarville. Now we're like Lanier. Well, if the niggers enjoy it
Hmm.
so much, let's make it a lake. We can be happy
Hmm.
here too. Seneca Village.
Okay.
Hell, if the niggers enjoy it so much, let's make it Central Park. Gotta
Hmm.
be good. Hell, the niggers enjoy what's here so much, let's tear it down and make it the fucking Pentagon. It's a
Okay.
whole
Oh,
black town under the Pentagon.
Memphis, the niggas are out there niggering. Let's make it into a data center. Why not?
Like anytime we're enjoying ourselves, this is the relationship that we have with white America. And the white girl, I mean, and she was cool as fuck. She could be on the panel,
Hmm.
but she was just like, Black Scots, that's why you're blowing up. We're obsessed with Black Americans.
That's
we're
it. That's
obsessed with
all.
everything they do. And then
That's it.
you
That's
have
all.
all these other groups of people where like you have these TikToks where like a Black Italian is like, I'm waiting for the Black Americans to show me. So it's just, I'm waiting for the Black Americans to put me on. Then you have the Black Germans, same upload. I'm waiting for the Black Americans to put me on. God, I've seen
I
what you do,
can't.
what you've done for others. And it's just like we have this
That's
obsession,
hilarious.
right? There's this obsession thing. And the other
But we
group
have no
wanted,
culture, right? But we have,
right.
according to the Cynthia Erivos of the world, we're Akata. We have no culture. We're jealous. Yet and still, every day I see someone line dancing. Like my friend, he showed me the other day. Some Indians in a call center line
Uh-uh.
dancing to where them fans at. Girl, bye. You mean that man from South Carolina who made that song? You mean to tell me the Indians in the Indian call center in Sri Lanka, in Bangladesh, are out here
Where
talking
them
about winning
fans
fans?
at? When
But we
I
have no
tell
culture,
you,
right? Okay.
I saw it happen in, I want to say it was Ghana or Nigeria. It was some West African country where you have all the, it could have been South Africa too. Don't hold me.
Hmm.
But the point is,
Okay.
everybody was out there line dancing in their country hats. And when the Africans were being interviewed, they're like, we just love Elvis. And I'm like,
Elvis,
bitch,
bitch,
this is why I can't do
bitch.
this dishonest shit with you because they wanted to be a part of it without giving the Black American any credit. And I'm just like, this is why I can't fuck with you. I mean, they make a whole thing about Elvis, and I'm just like, when Elvis was
Elvis.
alive, you weren't doing this shit. You're only out here like this because of Cowboy Carter.
That's it.
That's
That's
the only reason
all.
you're out here like this. The only reason you're out here like this because nigga said where them fans at, and we clacked them.
Period.
Why are you playing?
And
Why are you trying to Elvis Presley?
if Black Americans weren't feeling the Cowboy Carter thing, nor the whole cowboy movement, period. If Americans weren't feeling that, one, because it's in our DNA, because the cowboys were us, because they couldn't respect black men enough to call them cattlemen. They called the white people ranchers and cattlemen. They called the black men who worked with cattle and whatnot cowboys, because of course you know how they have
Right.
to denigrate black men.
Yeah, because
But
boy
anyway,
is a racial slur.
that's our culture. That is
Right.
our culture through and through. So the fact that they want to align that with Elvis, who wasn't even on no cowboy shit, he was on for the time Pretty Boy, more James Dean leaning type shit, like more of
Right.
that sock hop, leather jacket type shit. Like that's what I'm saying. These motherfuckers don't even understand history. They don't know. They
Right.
don't understand history. All they know is pop culture images and strung together little anecdotes about a culture they know nothing about, but they want to emulate so bad. That's why I have no respect for people like that.
Right.
Seriously.
And they swear that our hostility is some kind of, well, it's got to be jealousy. You're just mad because we come to your country and do better than you. And it's like, my nigga, I'm offended by you. I'm disgusted by you. I've been to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Zanzibar. I've been to South Africa, and I never did no shit when I was there like the shit that you do when you're here. I'm like, you have all kinds of conversations about how we should live our life, who and how we should be, and what's wrong with us. And I'm like, I didn't go to South Africa and act like that. I didn't do the people of Nelson Mandela like that. I didn't go to Kenya and decide that I was going to be the person to lord over the Kikuyu and the Luyo. I didn't have that kind of advice for you because I'm not from your context. I can't tell you what to do in your nation because I don't know, even though I'm there studying as a student, studying your context, I still can't be the one to tell you what to do about malaria. I still can't be the one to tell you what to do about kwashiorkor. Like it's not, I don't do that to you. But for some reason,
have that lived experience.
Right. It's like I could think of a solution and be like, oh, this is what you guys ought to do. And they're just like, shut up, dumb bitch. We tried that shit for 30 years. Yeah. And I would have to be put in my place because I'm like, well, shit, I didn't know you guys tried that for 30 years. So when people are talking about Black Americans and yeah, you're still in your ghettos and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bitch, put that comment into perspective when you're like, oh, we come over here and we do so much better than you. I'm like, yeah, only your best and brightest make it over. Your poors stay in Africa.
Exactly.
Our best, brightest, and our worst are here. So that's what you're seeing. But make no mistake, our spending power alone is worth more than your country.
Exactly.
Please don't do my people, because it's gonna hurt my feelings to tell you.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's gonna hurt my feelings to tell you. Like, I'm gonna be sad when I hurt your feelings. I'm not gonna be proud of telling you you drag my EBT. My community being, having an EBT card, and I'm just like, okay, but your kids are in Haiti eating dirt cookies off the floor, dough and dirt. Like, please don't make me do this to you. I love Haiti.
Damn. I would delight in that.
Like that shit, it hurts. It hurts my feelings. Like, a Jamaican will come over here and tell us how to do it. And I'm just like, dude, you own 2% of the coastline, and Jamaica's a fucking island. It's a fucking island, and you own 2% of the beaches in Jamaica.
Meanwhile, the Asians are in there eating y'all ass up.
Chinese
in your own
building hotels, building resorts, and telling you to keep your black ass out of it. Please don't tell a black American who and how to be, because it's going to hurt me to say this to you. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Shit. I'm like, this gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me, but still, it's gonna hurt my feelings. That makes one of it, and I fully understand. But I'm a recovering Pan-Africanist, so I got habits that are not, correct.
I severed that tie right out the undergrad.
Yeah. Yeah, I severed the tie, but I'm like an alcoholic who, got to go to Alcoholics Anonymous, because every now and then you backslide. I backslide every now and then into Pan-Africanism, and I really try to leave that shit alone. But here, let me share this other. Who am I gonna share from the tickety of the talkety? Let's try Godfrey. And I said earlier about Godfrey, because people have such an issue with Godfrey defending Black Americans, because he used to be the main Nigerian shit talking us about how much more African he is and will ever be. And so what I was saying at the beginning of the hour, at the top of the hour, is that all we can expect a person to do is realize they're wrong, repent, and do the opposite.
Yep.
And Godfrey has done that. I brought up the example of Justin Bieber, where when he was 13, he's like, well, what sound does a chainsaw make? Run, nigga, 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 nigga. And I'm like, yeah,
I know you fucking lying.
No, he absolutely did, and it's available all over online. But I'm like, this boy is like 12 or 13, and he makes this joke. But these days, anytime you see Justin, he looks depressed unless he's in the arms of a Black woman. He looks like he doesn't want to be anywhere, and unless he's next to somebody Black. It's the only time you see Justin smile. And I'm just like, clearly Black people mean something to this man. And yes, that's true that that's his past, but I'm just like, these are the kind of people, all we can really do is you repent and turn from the errors of your way. That's all any of us can ask of anybody. And I believe that Godfrey has done the same thing. So with that said, I'm going to go on ahead and let him cook.
Erivo, that Cynthia Erivo, who's playing Wicked, the witch in Erivo, she said some really disparaging shit about African Americans. And then she ends up playing.
Is she British?
She's British Nigerian.
Okay.
If I'm right, I better be right, because I want to make sure if I'm not, you guys can go in the comments and go, he don't even got it right. That motherfucker don't say nothing right. I said, she said some disparaging shit about African Americans.
What did she say?
I want to make sure I quote it right, but if you can get your producers to find it, that would be cool.
Mario, try to
because I don't want to say anything out of pocket. And she said some shit about which is funny how almost every foreigner has something to say badly about African Americans. Even Africans sometimes have fucked up shit to say about African Americans, but then everybody comes to America trying to be African American.
Come on.
And benefit off of our struggle and the work that we put in.
Yeah. And what's really fucked up is she ended up playing Harriet Tubman. I go, wait a minute, you just talked about and shit on African Americans, and you're going to talk about the woman that did so much for African American freedom? You get to play her? You're fucking playing Harriet fucking Tubman? Are you out of your fucking mind? Harriet Tubman would have smacked the shit out of you if you said what you said. Yes. How could you say that? How could anybody that looks like you come into America and talk about African Americans when they are the ones that have created the foundation for foreigners to come in? The 1964 Civil Rights Bill is the reason why Koreans, Nigerians, Indians, Arabs can come in and open up businesses in black neighborhoods and still disrespect the fucking same people that are putting money in their pockets. What kind of fucking nerve is that? It's the serious hatred of African Americans in this country. It's in the soil. It's in the fucking soil, like my boy Dante says. That's my co-host. He says it's in the soil. That it's almost patriotic to hate black people. It's patriotic. It's part of the. Damn. It's part of that.
Oh damn.
Message.
Yeah, it's part of the American thing to hate black people.
All right, so that was posted by my guy Kanata Way. He is one of my mutuals on TikTok, and I really, I like his content. So if you are on TikTok, if you be scrolling, go on ahead and follow the brother. You will not be disappointed. You got any comments about that, Jasmine?
Well, you know what? Like you said, on the onset, I can appreciate the fact that he saw the error of his ways and repented. Funny enough, we've been watching a lot of Godfrey this week, and Godfrey is very funny. And my the thing I like about a lot of comedians, or my favorite comedians, is that they're intellectual and they know how to break down intellectual things in a funny way. And what Godfrey said in particular about Cynthia Erivo is basically how the hell are you gonna sit here and denigrate the same people that you're trying to emulate? The reason why we love people like Denzel, like Angela Bassett, like Regina King, just certain people, FBAs and whatnot. And they don't even have to be FBA. If you're a good actor, you're a good actor. But the reason why we love these people is because they really get into the roles. And I was watching a Denzel interview earlier. It was, I think it was when they were doing Fences, and Karen Hunter was interviewing them, and she asked basically, why did you guys need a black actor? Not actor, but anyway, black director. Could a white director have done just as good of a job? And he answered by saying basically, Steven Spielberg did Schindler's List, and Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, and he said if Scorsese would have done Schindler's List and Spielberg would have done Goodfellas, he's sure they would have done a great job either way. However, it's their cultural context that gives the movie a certain air, a certain realness, a certain depth. And that's what you get in Fences and whatnot as well. And I think he's a really good picker of movies, but that cultural context, he described it as, we all know what a hot comb on hair smells like on a Sunday morning. But you have to be in our culture to know, to really, that when I say that, to know what that smell invokes, to feel that it's not just a knowing, it's a feeling. And if you're not in the culture and you don't have reverence for the culture, and not only not having reverence for the culture, but to the point of trying to denigrate that culture and
Right.
delineate it in a very negative way. How dare you? It's a dishonor for
Right.
you to even go up for these roles. And shame on Ava DuVernay. Shame on her.
Shame.
But there's a certain black boule. I even the cover of Ebony. One of my bros. I'm in a social service fellowship from my undergrad, and a lot of our like founders, they're like great people. They all doing stuff. Like one of the founders, he's a little brother. The other one, he is a stylist to like many different stars. But anyway, um, he posted the cover of Ebony, and he styles Issa. That's one of his clients. And
Mhm.
I noticed that the whole theme of the cover was like a black excellence kind of theme, but that particular phrase is a homegrown quote unquote FBA phrase.
Right.
And all three of those people that were on that cover were African. And I'm here for the diaspora, but I'm
Mhm.
not here for the blatant disrespect and what seems to be destiny swapping. And I
Right.
understand why those like Tariq and others use the term tether, because it just like the movie Us, like you're tethering on to our life force and trying to emulate us, but denigrate us at the same time. It's like a parasite. It's a very parasitic kind of relationship. And if we don't
Absolutely.
stand up against it, then what are we doing? We're literally going to be destiny swapped out of our position.
Have you ever heard? There are a number of Africans I've known in my personal life, and Africans on TikTok who say things like African Americans need to move to Africa. You know, you guys are
Hmm.
getting bullied by the police so bad, police brutality is so bad, you guys should go to Africa. And when I listen to that, the first thing that comes to my mind is you first. They'll drag us to be an FBA, and then the other Black Americans
Mm,
will call it EBA. Yeah, y'all everywhere but Africa. Like, how you gonna tell us to go to Africa when you won't even go to Africa? What's really going on in Africa? Because if it was so great for us and so the solution for us, why aren't you there?
come on.
We're gonna go there while you're coming here. That what sense does that make? And before I get into the next article, I just want to read a little bit on Ava DuVernay because there's a reason we're saying shame on Ava. And Ava DuVernay, at a glance, she's a writer, director, producer. She's a film distributor. She's marked by numerous awards, especially for influential films like Selma,
Hmm.
When They See Us, the television series Queen Sugar. Um, she has some kind of an arts collective called Array, and she promotes inclusion and amplifies the work of underrepresented people. And what's crazy to me about her promoting inclusion for underrepresented people is that Black Americans are becoming underrepresented in their own stories.
Come on.
And for some reason, that's not a problem for you. And Ava is not, you know, like I believe she's from Alabama.
Hmm.
I mean, her face gives a little bit of Haitian, but like as far as I know, that's a sister like I'm a sister. So I'm looking
Hmm.
at her, I'm like, UCLA grad, like you're a whole Bama, like what is this, honey? And
Yeah.
that's why, you know, when it comes to the Black Boule, it's like you can only get what you get. And sometimes black faces in
Exactly.
high places isn't the answer because there are some people who don't mind cannibalizing the culture as long as they get somewhere and destroying the culture as long
Hmm.
as it's good for them. I want to remove this image of Ava really quick and go through this article. And if you have any thoughts, feel free to interrupt.
Real
Cynthia
quick,
Erivo's. Yep.
let me say this. That's a point that you just made. That's why the movie They Clone Tyrone will always be one of my favorite movies,
Yes.
because it really shows that there is a subset of us that think that assimilation is better than a quote unquote annihilation. And they think that those are our only two options. And
Hmm.
both of them are victimhood options. And
Hmm.
that's kind of literally, as I've come out of certain communities, like, quote unquote conscious community or Pan Africanism, and, being in the NAACPs and things like that of the world, I feel that a lot of our collective struggles on, especially on the mainstream front, have been more so from the victimhood. Please, master, please give me your give me your benevolence and be good to me and be kind to me. Please just like me. When that's, to me, that's a victimhood standpoint. I don't give a fuck if you like me, frankly. What I really actually know is that your inferiority complex, you actually really want to be me, and you mad and sad that you're not,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore you enact all this bullshit against me. Like it's war. Like are you on the defense or are you on the offense? And I think
Right.
too many times we don't realize even that we're at war. That's
Absolutely, because we don't
that's the
feel
problem.
and think like these people. We don't have what they have in their hearts. There's something very, and I'll say it like this, and many people don't like it, but you know, we're a little cadre here, we're a little group. The thing is,
Mhm.
the Black American is one of the most powerful groups of Aborigines on the planet.
Come on.
And you call a group of people Aborigine because ab is abhor or hated, and
Hmm.
origine just original. So there are
Hmm.
originals who are hated on this planet. And because they've already exterminated, such as the Aborigines of Tasmania, you don't hear anybody talking about
Hmm.
that. Because the Aborigines of Australia are damn near extinct. Now they're still
Hmm.
here. They're still here. The majority of them are biracial, but they're still here.
Hmm.
But because they're in such small numbers, like these are the people who own the earth that you're on.
Hmm.
If that makes any sense, the Aborigines of Europe are the people, like, you know, these Stuart kings come from these Jacobites who come from these, you know, like you have Queen Charlotte. Queen
Hmm.
Elizabeth is a queen because Charlotte, and Charlotte was a negress,
Hmm.
and they portrayed her as high yellow biracial, but no, she was a dark Aborigine woman.
Hmm. Negritude, straight up and down.
And so what you end up with is these by default royal bloodlines,
Hmm.
because every land has a group of Aborigine people. It's
But
like,
they got their royalty from us.
right, and they had to, because there's nowhere else to get it from, because you were there first. So whatever
Hmm.
land, whatever resources they had to get from you first, and you existing is the fucking problem. That's why you can be black and exist somewhere, and somebody's treating you a way that they're not treating the next black person, and it's just like, well, what the
Hmm.
hell is this black American hatred for? And I think it's this Aborigine thing. I was listening to a white woman, astute observation. She said it can't just be skin color for why you guys hate black Americans. Like, y'all hate black people bad, and you mean to tell
Hmm.
me it's just skin color and hair texture? What is it
No,
really? It has
it's
to be
essence,
something else. And it's essence. It's the fact that we're the
bloodline,
origin. It's
birthright, origin.
yes, that all of
Yeah.
that. And you can only hide it for so long. Every generation, the shit resurfaces. Somebody will talk about an
Hmm.
Olmec head, and then somebody realizes these Native American, Chinese people, Korean people are actually Siberian, and they're
Hmm.
digging up nigga faces. And they're just like, well, damn, it's looking like black people were here first. It's looking like they might be telling the truth about being Aborigines, and maybe we didn't get them
Hmm.
all from Africa in the last 400 years. Well, what are we going to do now? Their faces and their dreadlocks and their sports are painted all over these Mayan damn
Hmm.
temples. Their names
Hmm.
are still Moor.
Hmm.
The uncle is Maurice. The,
You
the
go
niece
into
is
the
Maurisha.
mountains of, you go into the Ozarks and whatnot, the mountains in
You,
Arkansas
you,
and
you broke
whatnot.
up,
You
baby.
see, oh dang, can you hear me?
Hmm.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Or maybe I got too far away from my phone, but I was saying you go into the mountains like the Ozarks and the mountains and whatnot in Arkansas and all of that, and they start to do these excavations and they're seeing like monuments to us, like people figurines and things like that that look just like us. And then all of a
Right.
sudden you have a tornado go through St. Louis that no one's talking about. Once in the century tornado, no one's talking about, like this literally just happened and no one's talking about it. And you know that the ploy, when they do these things, the ploy is always to take land and to cover up history.
Hmm.
Like they don't want us to know that
Yes.
this is our land. And when the Midwest is sacred, and that's another thing. Like the Midwest is
Yes.
super sacred, and a lot of people don't know that the largest pyramid in North America is in the Midwest. It's in Collinsville, Illinois. It's called Cahokia. And people don't even know that. Like you go there and and not only that, like I grew up in North Carolina. In fourth grade, we went to go see a mound not too far from where I grew up. Like these mounds are everywhere.
Right.
And
Right.
and they want you to look overseas so you don't look inside. You don't look right here at home. Your history
Right.
is here.
They want you to stay out of the Grand Canyon because when you see that
Yep.
thing that looks just like the Sphinx, except the head is gone, and when you figure out that these world wars, these World War ones and twos, were about blowing away previous civilizations, and some of these people weren't really at conflict. It was about how do we blow away the evidence of these Negro societies? How do we blow away the evidence of these Aborigines when we're talking white supremacy? How do we get rid of the rocks? Because the rocks are going to cry out. The rocks are going to tell on us. The mounds, the pyramids are going to tell on us. And all this is going to be for naught if we don't get rid of this shit. We got to pretend that we're at the World Fair and these Tartarian buildings are just paper fucking mache. Because if we let you know the real architects of this and the real masons of this, we're going to have a fucking problem. If you ever figure out that they came before Columbus, these Moors, these Moors, what are you going to think?
Okay.
We have to fix this.
If they think that they're anything other than African slaves, if they know that they're the originals, then they're going to stand up, and that's
they're
what
going to
they
act
fear.
different. And I was listening at that white girl, and I'm just like, I'm so happy you fucking exist, girl. I am so happy you exist because people do not be asking the right questions. Like, it can't just be skin color why you hate these people. And I'm just like, there's a word for it. It's called Aborigine. There's a word for it. People just get this irrational hatred because you're Sophia the First, because you're one of one, you're number one, and you're the only one.
Period.
Beyonce.
Unique.
And these people can't take it. So I typed in Cahokia in case somebody wants to look it up or whatever. So reading more on Cynthia Erivo, and the problem with tethers is that when people have these issues with Aborigines, they have no problem moving in another person of color to triangulate you. It's like, the Native Americans, people who call themselves First Nations, they talk about how the white people did them raw, and the white people did do you raw. But tell the whole story, because once upon a time, you brought your Asian ass here. And you were embraced by the Aborigines. And the Europeans decided to use you to triangulate these people, and you eliminated a bucket load of them. And then once you got rid of the people that they feared, they came here and got rid of you. So say that when you tell your story. Say that before you talk about Little Big Horn and Wounded Knee, and have that conversation, because none of you niggas look like what's on a Mayan pyramid. None of you look like none of you have the face of an Olmec. None of you have the hair. None of you have the braids, the beads. Your hair texture don't even support that kind of styling.
Nope.
So we're just saying, just tell the whole story.
The writings of Cortez, Columbus.
Right.
Columbus y'all came not here, copper colored with wool hair. Period.
Columbus came here and he said, or one of the letters he wrote back to Spain, he's like, what these people do with their feet, the way these people dance, I can't even. And he would try to describe it, and he would just describe how it was breathtaking. And when you go to these powwows, my question is, what to you about their dances looks breathtaking? Nothing. It's just hopping and skipping around. It's 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, hey ya, as opposed to somebody crip walking, as opposed to somebody hitting the folks, as opposed to somebody getting sturdy, as opposed to somebody doing the precursors to breakdancing and voguing.
Okay,
that's what he came here and looked at and said, what the fuck is going on? Why are these people made like this? Why can they do this, and how come we can't? And that's why there are these summits annually on melanin, and what you can do with melanin, and how you can put melanin into a computer chip and it can run your world.
That's why it's worth $359.
Literally worth more than its weight in gold. Worth more than gold, ounce per ounce. And so the little white girl's like, yeah, it got to be more than that. I'm like, sis, welcome to the club. You're right, it's more. So this article, and why did you just take that out of my thoughts? You just reached right into my brain. Come on, girl. It's more. It's MOOR. I've been on Ancestry.com with my mom. synchronicity and is. I've been
Okay.
on ancestry.com with my mom for the past month, almost on a daily basis. And her grandmother's family name is Moore.
Mm.
And we found Washington Moore in the middle of some of their names. And we're just like,
Mm.
the word Washington is so important because here's what white people will tell you when you read these McGraw, Macmillan Hill public schools. They'll tell you they took all these Africans and took their names and then gave them their names. And it's like, nah, bitch, you moved here, and in the tradition of your own people, you called yourself after the city you were in. So let's say Henry, Prince Harry of Sussex. Why? Because Sussex, England. It's not like somebody in his family had a name called Sussex. It's that your last name would be where you're from. Because people like Robin of Locksley, like I'm Robin Hood and I'm from the Locks, or your last name is, you know, Hillshire because you're from the hill, you're from the shire that belongs to the hill. So, or ton means town, so Bridgerton, those people are Bridgers. So when I say I'm Bridgerton, I'm from the town of Bridger. So when you have Washington in America, you have a motherfucker who came here. Jasmine, I'm finna throw something across the room, bitch. You have a nigga who came here from the Europe and landed on Washita people in Washita land, and decided to say, I live here now. I'm of the Washita or the Washita, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
Come on, ooh, I like that.
Washington.
Ooh, Washita. I'm only saying it that way from now on.
I'm like, get it right, ho. It's not that you stole our last names and we don't have it. Like you took ours, or we took yours. You took ours. You started calling yourself after our shit. That's how that happened. You Europeanized the hell out of what we were already calling ourselves. And the beautiful thing, because people, there used to be all kind of articles and things in the early 2000s about why Black Americans have such a white economics teacher of mine at the University of Washington had the nerve to say out of place names. And I was like, what is an out of place name? What do you mean out of place name? But, you know, he's talking about the Sequoias and Laquanias and you know, Quanicas and Washitas. And I'm just like, we have the naming. Names. Throw something else across the room. We have the naming patterns of our ancestors, bitch. There's a reason we didn't start naming each other Abu Jamal until you convinced us that we were from somewhere else.
Come on,
we've been Quanica. We've been Sequoia.
Don't hear you though.
We've been Washita. We've been these people. We've been, even today, the way we spell our names. You want to know why people can't pronounce Lake Pontchartrain? Because they look at the goddamn spelling. You know why people look at Chattanooga and they don't know? Like, we spell our shit as we spell. You know, Mississippi blows people's minds until you understand that it's supposed to be pronounced Mississippi.
Come on.
That's how we talk. That's how we spell. We've been talking like this. We've been spelling like this. There is cultural continuity that has not been broken. And you want us to believe we're a broken tree from Africa when we've been here. There's a reason George Washington came here to the Washita and chopped down the fucking cherry tree. Because the cherry tree.
Are we going to talk about what that cherry tree is?
That cherry tree is the Moor.
Come on.
That cherry tree is the indigenous people. That cherry tree is us. And it's like, all right, y'all was Washita, bitch, I'm Washita now. That's our umbilical cord. It was symbolic of removing us from the land, our rule. And what these people can't deny is that it's like these people who are just like, oh, we was kings, ha ha ha. But literally, bitch. Like you're mocking us, but you're saying what the truth is.
But literally.
But literally. What did Erykah Badu say? If we were made in his image, then call us by our names.
Most intellects do not believe in
God. They don't
God.
believe in God, but they fear us just the same.
They fear us just the same.
So we was kings. We was kings. Call us by our name. Call us king. Yes, queen. Preach, king. Like we know. We know.
I posted something
you know.
In my stories the other day. It said social media is basically white women imitating gay guys imitating Black women. And I'm like, yeah, that's
period.
That's the world.
Period. That's the whole breakdown. You can come home, go home. That's the whole of it in one sentence. The full shebang. So
Yes,
it
ma'am.
feels kind of weird to read this article now because, let me actually play the video first. I'm going to stop sharing that and play my girl. This is another mutual of mine, or she was a mutual of mine until I got kicked off the TikTok. Yeah, girl. I done learned my lesson. I done changed my
I didn't
ways.
know. I didn't know you got kicked off of TikTok, yeah.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I was letting people have it, girl. I was
Oh,
letting
oh.
people have it, girl,
Girl, I
because
can't even get on TikTok because I'll be pissed. I ain't got.
I was taking in so much of that diaspora war stuff, and I started telling people the things that it hurts to say. Like, I really don't want to talk to you like this, but you know, I really don't want to say this to you about what's going on in your country, but you got a lot to say about a Black
Hello.
American, and I'm gonna, yeah, I can hear you.
Damn it.
This just pissed me the fuck off. First of all, Cynthia Erivo is a British Nigerian. Y'all know how the fucking Black Brits feel about Black Americans. Second of all, she made some nasty tweets in the past mocking us, talking about how we got a ghetto accent, standing up for another non-Black American person that was making disparaging tweets and comments about us. She downplayed the Black American experience, continuously inserting herself in issues that did not pertain to her. And she's playing Chaka fucking Khan. Chaka Khan is from Chicago. Chaka Khan considered herself an indigenous Black American person. Blackfoot, to be exact. This is so disheartening. I don't understand why they continuously allow people. First of all, she played Harriet Tubman. Bitch, I need to throw something. Why are they doing this?
Not her throwing stuff across the room like I just got done doing.
Oh my God. Like, whenever I'm out singing open mics, y'all know I'm obsessed with karaoke. I'll be singing Sweet Thing.
She looks like Chaka Khan.
I love Chaka Khan. Like, I'm every woman. Why are they like allowing people that are not from our lineage to play our legendary people? Just because we have the same hue of complexion, I just don't understand the infiltration that's going on. And this is not me saying that, other melanin-rich people from throughout the diaspora shouldn't get work, but to play our legendary artists, they don't really have no direct relation to them. I would even prefer Onika Trinidadian beautiful ass to play Chaka Khan. A Nigerian British person, these people don't even like us. She don't even like us like that. What the? This this hurts my feelings because now I can't even go and support the movie. And I love Chaka Khan. I'm not going to see that.
I'm not either, girl.
I'm just not. Like, is there not a Black American actress that could body that role? Bitch,
Plenty.
I fucking played Chaka Khan.
Zane Good.
I gotta go. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. This is really just hurt my feelings.
Hell,
I'm so tired of them
Jasmine.
this. And it's because we allow it, because we really thought all skin folk was kinfolk, but we've been seeing clearly it's not. Are y'all okay with Cynthia Erivo playing Chaka Khan? She doesn't even look like Chaka.
When I tell you Chaka Khan will live and die as sex symbol. Who is getting confused about their sexuality over Cynthia Erivo besides Ariana Grande? Chaka Khan, Pam Grier. I mean, people who just men, women, it don't matter. Everybody was like, well, goddamn. And I think part of the reason I take Chaka Khan so personally is because it's one of the things, Mr. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello, Jasmine.
I think we're still on.
Can you guys type a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and Jasmine, both of us? So let me move this just because I want to be sure that there is still activity here.
Hello.
Jazz, I hear you. I'm not sure if you hear me, but I hear you.
Hello.
Okay, one's great. So we can't hear Jasmine, but Jasmine can't hear you. Oh, okay. So you guys could hear you guys could hear me and Jasmine, but okay. So I'm going to continue reading, but one of the things my late Mr. Uppity used to always say to me is like, your beauty era is not, 2025 and because he was a classic beauty, right? Mr. Uppity looked like he would be fine in every era. In every era, he would be fine. Victorian era, Renaissance era, civil rights era, he would be fine in every era. He's like, your era is the 70s. You give hardcore Shaka Khan, and I will get put on my weave or whatever when I'm, on camera, whatever. But when I walk around home, when I walk around the house, my hair is big, natural, Shaka Khan in the middle. That's how I look. That's how I look. That's my color. That's my hair. That's my. Welcome back, girl. So apparently the chat could hear me and you, but you couldn't hear me.
Oh wow. My goodness. Okay. I thought we called that one when I got kicked out. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So the NAACP Image Awards this past weekend resulted in Keke Palmer winning the Entertainer of the Year award. This came as a surprise to Palmer and her iconic imitation of Cynthia Erivo's Defying Gravity riff in Wicked while accepting the award was a highlight of the ceremony. While Palmer gave her flowers to Erivo, some fans considered her actions shady considering the past remarks Erivo made about Black Americans. Additionally, when Kerry Washington won the NAACP award for Outstanding Actress in a Motion Picture, she was equally surprised because Erivo was also nominated and favored to win the category. As an Oscar nominee for Best Actress in a Leading Role, if Erivo wins, she will become the youngest person to win an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony EGOT award.
Really?
So, why are some
She
fans
has a
conflicted
Tony?
about? Girl, this is news to me.
How is she an
So,
EGOT? I can't do. Okay, I'm not. Keep going.
So why are some fans conflicted about supporting her while others vow never to support her altogether, like I vow? Let's explore why Erivo's past tweets about Black Americans are still haunting her acclaimed success. Erivo's tweets from a decade ago still have a sour taste in the mouths of some Black Americans due to the disrespect of their ethnicity, culture, and history. One of her old tweets mocks what a ghetto American accent sounds like using African American vernacular English. She also retweeted a statement that affirmed how some Black Americans are jealous of Africans who have immigrated to the U.S. Was said no Black American ever, but go off. In the past,
Wow.
Erivo also inserted herself into a conversation about the Black American experience unprovoked by responding to tweets and downplaying their lived experiences. Additionally, she defended her good friend, author, and speaker Lovey AJ, who is known for making ignorant comments about Black Americans in the past. When I first got on, I was talking about how Lovey made a blog post about the worst like Black American names and just dragging us
Lovey a
for our
dumbass
names.
name.
Right. And Lovey's right. Like girl, Luvvie, go away. But when I went to go look at the article, because I had just that same year or the year before that article I had written, I had been tapped on the shoulder to be in an article about interesting names, right? And because my name is Chocolate Angel. And so when I went to the Levy thing, I saw a comment by somebody and it said they were talking about the worst, Black American names being so stupid. And there was a girl who commented, get this, Chocolate Angel. And I was like, what in the what? And I didn't know who Levy was. I didn't know who the girl who commented my name was. I was so confused. But I tried to get in and I was blocked from the article. So like I couldn't comment, I couldn't interact. And I'm just like, I don't know Lovey. I don't know the girl who added my name to the mix or all the people in the comment section under it. But I'm just like, dragging me for filth unprovoked. I don't know you hoes.
Girl,
I'm a private figure.
when you one of the chosen, that's just how it is, girl. Like that's baby.
I had no online presence. Aside from a few articles written about me, I had no YouTube account. I had no blog post account. And I'm just like, wow. So she seems to only note African Americans as a distinct group when she perceives them as doing something negative. like being jealous or mad or ghetto. She judges, debates, denies, dismisses, and ultimately disrespects Black Americans. So, as a result of these actions, some Black Americans also took issue with Erivo being chosen to play Harriet Tubman, or anybody Black for that matter, anybody Black American. And I haven't seen it either. I haven't seen shit. And I tell people all the time on TikTok, if you want to make something inspiring to a Black American and you put that I've been walking, fake Negro spiritual, I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it.
That's not her ancestral experience.
Right. And if anything,
you want to say playing Serafina, fine.
Exactly. Exactly. A historic Erivo being chosen to play Harriet Tubman, a historic and iconic figure to their community, and the movie Harriet. She mentioned to the New York Times that she doesn't perceive a difference between being Black in America as opposed to England. Shut up. Due to the shared similarity of displacement. We're not displaced, ho. That's your problem. We're from here.
I'm here.
We're not immigrants. Based on old tweets, when challenged about the importance of Black American actors playing historical roles such as Harriet, she asserts that her parents are African and she is Black, indicating that should suffice. It don't suffice. Erivo's pushback via tweets affirmed that if Black Brits aren't allowed to play American roles, then Black Americans should also not play African roles. You see how? Let's talk about how this goes. Erivo's pushback said if Black Brits can't play American roles, nope. How about this? If Black Brits can't play American roles, Americans can't play Black Brits, because that's the fucking equivalent. Now, here's the deal. I'm not saying she can't say anything about African roles, but what I'm saying is the literal equivalent. If Black Brits can't play American roles, then Black Americans shouldn't be able to play Black Brits. But she went all the way to if Black Brits aren't allowed to play American roles, then Black Americans should also not play African roles. Like, who the fuck?
No, okay. And so this is where I have to draw the line, because my point, where I look at it is, what roles have Black Americans played of other figures in other lands that are as significant as Fred Hampton, Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King? Please say, because all those roles that I just named were played by Black Brits from Nigeria or Ghana, wherever the fuck they from.
Right. Like, I can't think of a Negro that ever played Nelson Mandela or Winnie Mandela or Steve Biko or Idi Amin. Hell, Ibrahim Traore, in case something comes out about him. Like Kwame Nkrumah. I can't think of anybody. I can't think of a Black American who has played those people.
Nope.
These significant civil rights leaders. I can't think of one.
Nope.
So Ebo Peep says, moving along, Cynthia dismisses a lot, dismisses and erases difference, dismisses and condescends, dismisses and deflects with an odd sort of transactional entitlement.
It's not racist. It's xenophobic. It's xenophobic. It's not racist. Yeah.
AA's played Brits, so people shouldn't take issue with a Brit playing an AA.
When? Name the role.
No, I think this person is criticizing Cynthia, and she's saying that like this is the sentiment, but it's not. So Cynthia says, "Sweetheart, my parents are African. My skin is Black. I'm Black. It's cool. Relax. You're reaching. It's embarrassing." All that whole comment is disrespectful.
She's so condescending. That's why she's gross. I can't stand her, or her face. And this,
nope.
I don't want to go here. I don't, but I'll go here. You can tell she's like a self-hating person because
of how she looks.
Because of how she, and I didn't want to go there, but when you mutilate and you really extreme yourself to that point, there's a certain like,
you have an issue with yourself.
You have an issue with yourself when you cannot just be yourself, when you have to mutilate in any way, and you have to go to these extremes. When it comes to looks, there's something inside that you're trying to cope with. And I'm like, baby, you can hate yourself all day, but leave us out of it.
Leave us out of it. I say the same thing to my brothers who are just like, I don't date Black women. Black women are like this. I'm like, love your white girl in peace.
Yes, please. Love your white girl in peace, baby. I do not
leave
care.
Us out
if
of
you
it.
Like white women, baby, leave us out of it. What they got to do with me?
We love this for
the
you.
White women are so great, please. I'll throw exactly. When my cousin married a white woman, I was there dancing.
I got
when
my
uncle married my white aunt when I was like 6, I was there dancing.
Hell, the majority of my aunts are white. And I'm like, this,
Well,
I will throw rice at the wedding, but would you please? This because my grandmother had 10 kids and only 3 girls, so it just
mhm.
hella niggas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look, I don't fucking please just leave us out of it. Don't
Leave
bring
us
us
fuck
up. Well,
out.
why are you with a white woman? Because black women. No, 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 no. Wrong answer.
Nope,
It's
nope, nope, nope.
because she's good to me. Because I'm in love with her. Because she's a good mom. Because she lists her qualities, not our
Exactly.
defects or supposed
Exactly.
interpreted. Anyhow, the rest of this article, the sense of dismissal and erasure of Black American actors from such historic roles did not sit well with some members of the community, especially considering Erivo later played the legendary Aretha Franklin in the
Oh, I
Genius
forgot about
series.
that.
And that's some bullshit.
Ugh.
That's
Why did
some
they do
bullshit
that?
because that's another
Ugh.
aborigine. That's some bullshit. This made it seem that when it was convenient to be black, such as when accepting historically black American roles, Erivo embraced the shared experience, the shared black experience. However, she also simultaneously distanced herself from black American culture and mannerisms through her ignorant
Mhm.
tweets, which
Mhm.
contradicted her actions, benefiting off black American experiences while also disrespecting people from said culture is an important reason why some people are conflicted about supporting her. Dana
Mhm.
Abercrombie says Cynthia Erivo losing twice, this time to Kiki Palmer. Black Americans said the North remembers. Hashtag
Mhm.
NAACP Image Awards. During an interview at the Toronto International Film Festival, Erivo doubled down on the ignorant remarks of her tweets and claimed
I
her
can't
words were
stand
taken
her.
out of context. And I'm like, bitch, double down all you want to, but your words were not taken out of context. Taking something out of context suggests divorcing it from its meaning. Taking something
Mhm.
out of context divorce that it suggests that you took a little quote out of something big. That was your full comment, your full tweeted characters. That it's what you said. We read it.
Exactly.
We read what you said.
No one misread what you said.
No one misread what you said, but they always, when they don't want to claim their nonsense, they want to say something was taken out of context. She never issued a formal apology to
That's
indicate internal
gaslighting.
reflection. It is gaslighting. She never issued a formal apology to indicate intentional reflection about listening to Black American voices and honoring their unique ethnic identity. While some Black people have completely opted out of supporting a revolt, like myself, others feel that the
Mhm.
Black community is very selective about who receives grace. Some have argued that male entertainers who are pedophiles and abusers are still accepted in the community. That's a lie, while
That's
Erivo is
by a
being
very
judged
small few.
too harshly. While this is an important point to note, it is also necessary to acknowledge the harm that Erivo's disrespectful tweets cause and hold space for the negative impact despite her intent. And I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't think she has good intent. I think it's just good
I don't
denial.
either. Because
Good
she
denial.
picks these roles on purpose. She does not have good intent.
Right. Like
I
play
personally think
somebody
she's a
African.
plant because who? Why is she here?
Not only do I think she's a plant, I think Ava DuVernay is well aware of what this is going to do. I think
Yep.
people know that if you put Cynthia Erivo, you're going to get attention from everybody. Why? Because what outrages the Black American makes everybody pay attention.
Yep.
The whole globe is going to turn their face around and said, what are these niggas mad about now? What are they crying about now?
Yep.
And that's going to drive up all kind of numbers. Now, while Black immigrants and Black Americans, and I'm reading from the article again, while Black immigrants and Black Americans share racial identity in this country, it is still their responsibility to educate themselves on the culture, history, and ethnicity of descendants of enslaved people in the U.S. Otherwise, the lack of
Mhm.
cultural awareness and sensitivity will result in disrespectful and ignorant remarks such as Erivo's.
As
The
it
lack of
has.
cultural sensitivity also further perpetuates the myth that Black Americans don't have a culture or a home to return to
Mhm.
when they already have deep ancestral roots in this country. I'm
Mm.
that girl. Noah Samor 89 says Black Americans are a Black group whose generations usually go back 7 or more generations back. That's lineage. If you are Caribbean, even if you were born here, you are still a part of your immigrant parents' lineage. You are not a Black American. And they
Come
don't
on.
have a problem with saying it until it comes to something like this.
Exactly.
I've run into so many Jamaicans who are just like, no, 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 no. Like, I don't like when people call me Black. I'm Jamaican. I don't
Mhm.
ever want to be confused with an African American. I'm Jamaican, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, we'll say that then. Like, not offended by it. But when we delineate,
Mhm.
when we do the same damn thing they've been doing the whole
Mhm.
time, there's so many people. I did not know I was Black until I came to
Mhm.
America. I'm not Black. I'm Kenyan. I'm not Black.
Mhm.
It's not the same. It's not the same. I'm Dominican,
Paul Mooney
Poppy.
said it
I'm
best.
Dominican. I'm Dominican. Huh?
Mhm. Paul Mooney said it best. Everybody want to be a nigga, but don't nobody want to be a nigga.
Period. Period. Reading from the article, this says other Africans in the diaspora may dismiss Black Americans as an ethnicity, but they should be quick to remember that we are all consumers of Black American culture, which is
Mm-hmm.
globally transported through their music, aesthetics, lingo, etc. Additionally, Black immigrants would not be able to migrate to the U.S. without the blood, sweat, and tears of Black Americans who paved the way for immigrants to access opportunities in this country. This is
Come on,
where the
civil rights
phrase
acts.
"you can't shit where you eat" rings true. Therefore, despite Erivo's undeniable talent as a performer, only time will tell if her non-supporters will change their mind. I'm not changing my mind.
I'm
We can
never gonna
only
change my
hope
mind.
she's unlearned her ignorance since making those tweets. The reason I'm not changing my mind is because when you had the chance to change my mind, you didn't. The reason I'm not changing my mind about Tyla is because when she was given a chance on the Breakfast Club to fix
Yep.
that shit, she
Yep.
doubled down. Double down,
Yep.
bitch. Like I'm not gonna tell you how to feel and how to talk. You can be you, but understand my response is gonna be my response.
I'm
You
not
could
going
have
to Japan
apologized.
calling the Japanese whatever
A yellow
slang.
peril
You feel me?
or
Whatever.
whatever.
Right, a chink, any of that shit. Like I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
I remember I accidentally said I was going to the cheap store or whatever in front of an Asian person, but I was talking to my dad. I just was talking normally because that's what the store was called to me. Like, whatever, whatever. And my dad, when we got out the store, my dad was like, "You cannot say that. Like, that is very offensive." He explained it to me. But I'm like, I feel like we have so much grace
Yeah.
and cultural, what's the word? Care for so many other people that just, and we don't even consume their cultures. Not,
Right.
outside of commodities, but and even then it's like they're kind of selling us our culture, but I ain't even, that's a whole nother. But
Absolutely. You're
you
absolutely
feel me?
right.
Like,
I mean, because I take myself for example. I'm going to eat injera and what? Yeah, I'm going to eat the Ethiopian food. I'm going to eat the
mm-hmm,
dorowat. I'm going to eat the tivs. I'm going to eat the gorma, whatever it is you're serving me. I'm gonna eat it. But I
mm-hmm.
don't go home and listen to Ethiopian music. I
Nope.
don't go home and watch Ethiopians on TV. Their sitcoms. They got sitcoms. They got movies.
You won't
Nollywood.
catch,
These
catch me watching no Nollywood, no Bollywood, none of that.
right. They got movies, and I've had to. I've had to. Like I was on a bus to the equator when I was in East Africa, and they were playing Nollywood movies. I enjoyed myself. I did. I had a
Mm,
friend, a Black American friend, who was married to a West African guy, and
mm-hmm.
she would play these Nollywood videos. I enjoyed myself, but my interest stopped there. I don't have a bunch of Rena Nollywood films. I don't have a bunch of Nigerian stuff all over my house. I don't have Nigerian
Exactly.
decor. I don't have Nigerian regalia, but like you are dressed
No.
like a Black American. You are listening to the music of a Black American. You are using the expressions of a Black American. Like you are covered in
Yes.
my culture.
Yes. When I got on the live before I fixed my mic, you were talking about some African dude talking shit or whatever, but he was like wearing a do rag.
Yeah, I
You know
should
what I'm
pull that
talking about?
up. Hmm.
And I'm like, bruh, like sporting waves is a black thing. Like it's that's a straight up black American thing.
Specifically, it is us.
Yes.
And I'm like, you can't tell me shit because I was in Africa in the early 2000s. I didn't see a do
Mm-hmm.
rag nowhere.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of sporting waves, like that's a episode of Atlanta, and you talked about Donald Glover. You make some great points there as well because he is pro black man, like a lot of black men are, who say that they're pro black, but they're really more so pro black men.
Hmm.
And Donald Glover, I would say, will fall in that category because he, does all this quote unquote pro black stuff. This is America, Atlanta, and that particular scene that you brought up was perfect because I feel like that is his fantasy. Um,
Right.
because
Total
his
wet
baby
dream.
mama is white. That's his jam. Like he
Right.
was that nerdy black dude, white aligned guy before Atlanta, to be honest.
Right. Like you want us to be that woman. You want us to be that loud, unattractive, unlovable, uncouth. You want us to be all of those things,
Exactly.
chasing after you.
Exactly.
But
You don't want
that's
us to
not
be a loving
reality.
person. Yeah.
You don't want us to be nurturing. You don't want us to be decent. You don't want us to be these God-fearing people who raised your little black ass in church, who wiped your little black ass, who cleaned up your diapers and your spit up, who babied you, who suckled you, who nursed you, who fed and
Well,
clothed you. You don't want us to be those people.
It doesn't fit their
It
victim
doesn't help your
narrative.
narrative.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It don't fit. But I'm just like, so you can write out your little wet dream about how we are so randomly disrespectful and aggressive, but that shit don't happen in real life. I remember there was a trend, a TikTok trend for MAGA. MAGA had a TikTok trend like 4 months ago where they're just like, yeah, the 6'9" dreadhead who, and they would play the song like I won't back down. And I was like, why are you fan? It was MAGA. MAGA on TikTok were like, yeah, when a 6'head dreadhead thinks I'm gonna back down, and they would like cock these guns and make these like clicking sounds, and I'm just like,
excuse me,
you live in mobile like when is the last time you saw a 6 foot, not a 6 foot something dreadhead, a 6'9", a 6'7" dreadhead? Like, be all the way fucking for real. You're just fantasizing about killing a nigga. You're fantasizing about being stronger than somebody who is stronger than you. You're fantasizing about being more man than somebody who is genetically more man than you. Like, this shit don't happen in real life. You ain't being attacked by no damn dreadhead in real life. What the fuck are you talking about? You don't even know a fucking dreadhead. Calm down. But the I guess men do this. They get online and they fantasize out loud. Because with this Danny Glover, I'm like, you're doing what the MAGA was doing. You don't know a black woman who came up to you and your white girl and let you guys have it that way.
That never
be
happened.
all the way fucking for real. That shit don't happen.
Yeah.
We be trying not to be seen by you guys. We have experience with you. We have every black woman I know avoids these couples. Every black woman I know who,
I don't even
if
make
a white
eye
woman,
contact.
Girl, me neither.
I go out of my way not to make eye contact.
Out of my way. I was pissed walking home from work because a friend of mine, her husband dropped divorce papers on her and he signed them. And I was heartbroken and I was rushing home. And so my eyes are red and I'm mad. And there's white girl, black guy couple across the street from me. When I tell you the white girl decided in her mind that I was mad because they were together, she looked at me, crossed her arms, and then grabbed the black guy by the face and stuck her tongue in his mouth and looked at me like, and what, bitch? And I'm just like... I'm distraught because my very best friend in the whole fucking world just got divorce papers dropped on her. And she called me screaming, crying to the point where I ran out of work to go take care of her. That's the expression on my face. Bitch, this is not about you. You and your short, light-skinned nigga.
Okay.
Who can't seem to stop dancing and acting a fool in public across the street. This is not about you. This is an affair of the heart. My closest friend at the time. They're still married, by the way. They're good. Thank God they're still married. She loves that man. But it was just amazing to me how she, because the black guy didn't even make it about himself. But she decided to make it about, oh, you're mad because I have your black man. I'm like, girl, first of all, that's not my black man. I don't know this little nigga and I don't care about him. Like, you want me to be so fucking involved. I don't give a shit. And because of that experience, that's how I started avoiding, like, I won't even look in their direction. It's not even just eye contact. I won't even look in the direction because I know that this is the kink. I know that this is the wet dream. I know that so many people, they fantasize about having haters. And I'm just like, I spoke about that earlier with Omari Hardaway and how he treated that black fan in the airport over that white girl, and his white wife had the nerve to pen an open letter to black women talking about, sorry, I took your strong black man. And I'm like, he doesn't fit the definition of a strong black man. And I'm like, when we say strong black man, nigga, we don't need muscles.
So you got that role.
Right. Like we were fine until he did that. We were fine. But I'm just like, girl, if you don't go on somewhere with your man and go on and be married with your lavender.
Okay, because
we don't care with your Jerry beads. We don't care.
What has Miss Man been in since? Because Tyler Perry gets on my nerves a lot, but I tell you, he got that whole casting down to a T.
Right.
In For Color Girls, I hate that movie, but at the same time,
I really struggle with Tyler Perry. I don't watch anything of his. I have tried because I
hmm
grew up on Tyler Perry plays. I grew up
me
on
too.
Tyler Perry plays, and that played a significant, it was significant entertainment in my life. But I'm just like,
hmm
when every black girl has a fucked up wig but Medea, that's a
Come on,
message.
baby. I'm talking about Tyler's wigs be laid to the gods,
I mean,
baby.
lace wear, lace
Okay,
wear. And I'm
face
like,
be
when
beat.
all the black women, unless they're biracial, wearing their real hair, when they look
Come
away
on.
and when they act away, I got a problem. Even when the light skinned nigga is the one to save the day and the dark skinned guy is always the villain,
hmm
you think away, you feel away. When black women, you put them on your show and they're successful, and you always want to humble them. You want to take
hmm
the rich guy away from them and make them settle for I can't even say settle for the welder because welders are not broke. But I'm just saying,
Mm-mm.
Tyler Perry said in an interview, if he can just pay the light bill, that should be enough. Bitch, it's not enough. Do you know what kind of
He
world we
definitely
live
said that.
in? It's not enough. What do you mean? But it's just like that's the source. The number one reason for divorce is a financial hardship. It's not
hmm
infidelity. By statistics, it's not infidelity. The number one reason is financial
It's
hardship.
finances.
So, if he can pay the light bill, what do you mean? Who says this to any other group of women on the planet?
Exactly.
Like Arabs expect, Somalis expect,
You have
every
to
Muslim I've
pay
ever
a
known
dowry.
expects.
You literally have to pay
Yes,
this woman's family to
yes.
even be with her. Like, are you kidding me?
In Arabic, the word is called a meher, and you pay that meher or that dowry. Like literally, it's part of the wedding process. You can't get around it unless she personally waives it.
hmm
And even in Islam, if you cannot provide a woman minimum the lifestyle her father provided her, her father can reject
hmm
you and tell you no, and she can't get married. And if she marries you, she's a fucking fornicator.
hmm
Whole
And
family
that's
can
what
tell
I'm
you no
saying.
for
Like
being a broke ass nigga. Whole family
you
can
have
reject
these
you just on the.
men. Oh
Go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying the whole family can reject you on the basis of being a broke ass nigga. And it's crazy because
Mm.
so many black men in the gender war space are like, yeah, y'all need to be
Yep.
like Muslim women. And I'm just like, if you're not
Yep.
ready to be like Muslim men, shut the fuck up because I spent 13 years a Muslim and I guarantee you, you can't cut it.
Yep. And that's the exact point I was gonna make. Like you you have these men that are out here saying, "Oh, you need to be more like these women," and they name all these women from all these different cultures and whatnot. But n- totally negating the fact that they're not like those cultures at all. Like, where's your dowry at? Like,
Right. And then some of them, they go
so
beyond that.
crazy.
I remember a Somali family used to claim me, and they're like, yeah, and if so and so wants to marry you, he has to bring all of us hundreds and fifties, hundreds and fifties. We won't take fives, we
hmm
won't take tens, we won't take 20s, hundreds and fifties. And I'm like, damn, like
hmm
you got to make it rain in the wedding. You like or they're looking at you crazy. I
Yeah.
remember like I'm a bride whisperer. So when I would go handle these Islamic weddings, like I would be all up in people's business because,
hmm
uh, the black American woman has a thing about being selfless and maternal that a lot of other groups don't have. You would think so because they're so African, but nah. And so I would be
hmm
taking care of these girls as they're getting married. And I forgot the point that I was about to make, but it was going to be something about money and something about I now remember. So many of my Somali girlfriends, when they would get married, they would be these great big virgins, or so we think. Their men
hmm
would have to furnish an entire house or an entire apartment for them. And when they walk into the house, the food has to be there, the furniture has to be there, the toiletries have to be there, a wardrobe has to be there, and several sets of gold have to be there.
mm
They're like, if you think you're going to marry a Mijata 10 girl without doing this, you're wrong. If you think you are going to marry this, Ishaq girl from this clan of Somalis without doing this or that, we will take your wife out of your house. We will take your wife and your kid we will take your pregnant wife from your
hmm
house and we will bring her back home to her parents' house. You're not going to fuck
hmm
off my daughter.
hmm
Like literal sets of gold. And I'm like, what do you mean, Fatima? She's like, yeah, I got earrings that match my bracelets, that match my anklets, that match my toe rings,
Yes.
and several sets of them. I'm like, you wonder why they be driving these trucks day and night. You wonder why they be having 3 and 4 jobs because you can't
Mm-hmm.
get married without it. But Tyler Perry is like, oh well, black women are doing well enough, and it like no, that's why these men keep calling us masculine and saying they hate us, and we put on all this weight because you treat us like a beast of burden, and to carry that load, you gotta get heavy.
Mm-hmm.
You
Come
gotta get
on.
heavy.
Come on. Yes.
Just weird shit. So
Ooh.
Daniel Glover he can't even kiss my ass. Frankly, I don't
Mm-mm.
want him anywhere near it.
I don't want him to touch me.
I don't respect that. I'm attracted to men that I respect.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you think, oh, Omari Hardwick is so fine. I'm like, not in the mind, not in the character, not in what lasts. You can keep
Exactly.
that. I can't pay a bill with cute.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we are at the end of
And
our
he's short.
show. Ah! I heard he was short.
He
When
is. He's
I
like
saw
five
him
seven.
kissing all over Beyonce at that award show, I was so irritated because I'm just like, bitch, you're taking advantage and you're like literally right next to Jay-Z, but you're so fucking shameless and such a fucking fan. You can't help
Mm-hmm.
yourself. And she was trying to be gracious, but she looked like she was annoyed. Like, get out of my face. Like
Yikes.
he kissed her like 2 or 3 times in the face.
Come
But like
on.
when I saw him do that, I was just like, Beyonce is not a big girl. Why is she
No.
taller than you? Like Beyonce is like 5'7", and so
Yeah.
her heels are only going to be a good 3 inches. So if
Mm.
she's still like what 5'10", 5'11" in them heels, I'm like Omari.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm 5'9" barefoot, child.
So I'm 5'6.5. And me and him see eye to eye.
Yeah, nah,
Mm-mm.
nah.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah, this
any
was good though.
final words? Any comments regarding tethers and any of the topics we
Um,
talked about? Shaka
I am a
Khan.
person who is a proponent for um I'll say this. I don't want to say student of Dr. Clark Anderson, but a
That's all
follower
right.
or yeah, a student of Dr. Clark Anderson. I am a firm believer of group economics.
Mm-hmm.
And to have group economics, you need to have community and things like that. And I need us as quote unquote FBAs or whatnot to and just amongst families because I was talking to someone about this the other day. Community starts with family. It like
Mm-hmm.
you have your families, clans, things like that. That's how empires are built. It's built off of
Exactly.
families.
Exactly.
And you feel me? So I feel like we as a family need to come back together, just in our own quote people. Whether or not you want to say autochthonous, Aborigine, lost tribe of Judah, whatever you want to call it, Moors,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I don't care. Us that were already here, that have been here for generations, not no darn immigrants like they're trying to say. Oh, I hate this narrative that's going on right now. That slaves or immigrants. I'm like, nigga, what?
That is crazy.
I hate
That is
it. I hate it.
insane.
I hate it. It's like new math. But anyway, um, yes. I just really want us to come together and get our own house together and fortify our
Absolutely.
house.
Absolutely.
And the fortification of our house really is gonna come with knowledge of self. The highest level of learning is to learn oneself. And when you learn
Mm-hmm.
yourself, you have to learn your history. You have to not only learn the greater, broader history of, quote unquote Black Americans, but actually your family history. You might you might be surprised and find out that your family uh, invented something or did something cool throughout history. Like one of my favorite YouTubers is Dwan B. He does a lot
Mm-hmm.
of music history, stuff like that, and like Black American history, and he was talking about how his grandfather or great grandfather invented some piece to like train parts or whatever, the automatic railroad crossing. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's used. to this day throughout the world. You know what I mean? So learning your own history, again, going into know thyself, will help you have a firm backbone and believe in yourself. That way you're not looking to outside sources for validation of who you should be, because you already know who you are. So
Right.
you're not saying when the pop the balloon bitch, or man or whatever, be like, so what are you looking in a woman? You know what? I don't like black bitches. What? Excuse me? What? No one asked you
Right.
that. You
Right.
know, you're not on your self hating coon tour. Like you don't you won't, when the family is made whole again, you're not going to see black women and then see a image of hatred, or you're not going to see black men and see an image of hurt and pain. And like, because I'll put it on both. Like I don't like this narrative of, black women are out here doing this, that, and the third, whatever it is this week. But I also don't like the whole white zaddy movement that's going on either.
Right. That is not the answer.
At all.
That
Like,
is
I'm
not the
sorry. I'm
answer.
cool off of pig feet. I don't want
Right.
no parts.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't care how much money is attached to it. No, you're insane.
When people have
So
knowledge,
yeah.
when people have knowledge of self, they have high self-esteem.
Yes.
And when you have high self-esteem, there are certain things you are just unwilling to do. The fruit of high self-concept is boundaries. And so you don't let
Yes.
people play you in a certain way when you have regard for yourself. I remember listening to Angela Bassett talk about all the roles she passed up because she wanted
Hmm.
to be a certain kind of actress, and there were just some certain roles she would not play. And I'm like, imagine her playing, and I don't mean any disrespect to Holly Berry, but the role from Losing Isaiah, where you're a crack mom, but
Hmm.
losing your kid. It's like, how was she ever gonna play? She ended up playing Betty Shabazz and Coretta Scott.
Exactly.
How the hell would she be able to play them when people are looking at her like, the ghetto jam is about to slam. I guess that's a song that Hallie was singing when she was high off the rock. Um, and I'm just like, how would we even be able to see her in the role as Ramonda from Wakanda if she did that
Hmm.
to herself? It's hard to do that.
Hmm.
It would have been hard to put Vivica Fox in that role after
Hmm.
she plays a stripper in Independence Day. Like you get typecast is what I'm trying to say. But
Yes.
in terms of self-esteem, I was listening to these white people talk about how a white man invented the cell phone, and I'm just like, don't get yourself fucking confused because Steve Jobs gave you an iPhone. There are certain kinds of technologies that exist in order to create a cell phone. So, for example,
Hmm.
Jesse Eugene
Hmm.
Russell. That's why I call
Come
the
on.
nigga Gene Russell because his middle name
I'm
is
with you.
Eugene. Whatever.
I'm
I'm just
with
like
you.
he is the black innovator who created inventions that enabled the modern digital cellular technology.
Exactly. Because I'm like,
Like
last time I checked, it was a
he
black man who invented the cell phone.
Right. So you can design a little flat phone and put plastic on it and know that it needs cobalt, but understand he led the first team to introduce digital cellular technology in the US at Bell
Hmm.
Laboratories in 1988. And if I want to go even further motherfucking back, I would go back to who I made a video about, this
Hmm.
nigga. So you got one nigga who's from Tennessee and you got another nigga from the Carolinas,
Come
IBM,
on.
Mark Dean. Before Mark Dean, you see that little that computer behind him? That's what he's responsible for. Before that, if you were watching Hidden Figures and you would see them people who were plotting GPS,
Come
them
on.
fucking computers were big as living room furniture.
Hmm.
Them
Rooms.
computers were huge. Mark Dean is responsible for the technology that gives your black ass a personal computer, that gives you a desktop, a laptop, a tablet. Like he's responsible for that. And then another Negro
Come on.
improving on that design is responsible for why you have a cell phone in your hand.
Hmm.
Regardless of Huawei in China being the manufacturer or Steve Jobs manufacturing an iPhone or Samsung, whatever. I'm like, the reason you have the technology that you can keep cloning and repeating all over the world is because of niggas. And when you know this, and when you take February as Black History Month, and when you stop talking about
Hmm.
people playing with peanuts making peanut butter, when you
Come on.
stop talking about the nigga who invented the ironing board,
Come on.
Like you hoes ain't responsible for GPS. Like you're not responsible for the ability to click over on your phone. Like you're not responsible for three-way calling. Like you're not responsible for the microphone application in Skype and Zoom. Black women, black women.
Come on.
Black men and black women. Like when you know that this is who you are, you're not able to hold your head down in shame.
Exactly.
You
And you'll
can't
teach
play
your
yourself.
children
Right.
who they are.
Right. The cure for low self-esteem in the American Negro is knowledge of self. And it's so simple. There are oh God. But that's the cure for if we're going to get back to being families, right? Because gender war enthusiasts love to get online and talk about how your black ass isn't married, and I'm like, okay, black women are not married. 28% of black men are married. That's not a real big number. The majority of y'all who are married to black women, but I digress. Like, if we're going back to building, we are going to have to turn back to marriage for children. We are going to have to turn back to households and communities. Like, that's how things are built. And white people know this so well. They will be married 20, 25 years, and then both of them got a lover. Both of them are like, look, we raised our kids. We got all this money, all this legacy. I'm not letting you go. You're not letting me go. So I'm with the pool boy, and you're with your secretary, and we're just quiet about it.
That CEO got caught at the Coldplay concert. I'm pretty sure he had an arrangement in his marriage.
Exactly. Because why? We must protect this house. We can't get along all the time. We're not going to be perfect all the time. After 20 years of marriage, we might not even know how to be lovers anymore, but we're going to stick this out because of legacy. Like it's just what you got to do. And there are so many people on YouTube mad that, their baby daddy didn't marry them. So they're telling everybody they don't need to be married. And I'm just like, if you want to be a community again, it's hard to be a community with a bunch of single mofos. It is, because somebody going to hit those.
Exactly. How do you build
those
communities when everybody's single, or everybody's single?
Nobody's off limits.
Dad, like, nobody's off limits. Exactly. Like,
so
you can't build communities like that.
Yeah, black folk. I'm like, y'all fine. Y'all know black don't crack. Y'all know Miss Parker look good in them 40s and them 50s. Ain't changed nothing.
Exactly. But I mean, and there goes my point. Like, do you want to be a clone, or do you want to be another Tyrone, or do you want to break free out that damn lab?
Right. Because that's what you're gonna have to break free. Does he know we can hear him?
No, I didn't even.
Like, sir, do you know you're live? We could hear him the whole time. Ciao.
For real?
Not for real. I should have said something earlier, but I was trying to
mind
my
funny. I did not know.
But I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go, because he
not Mr. Journey.
He is at the gates, honey. So he is at the temple gates with an offering for the guys.
Baby.
So thank y'all for tuning in. If you found any of this edifying for your spirit, please share the video. And Jasmine, I love that I was able to do this with you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. This was excellent. I really enjoyed this. For real. I'm very happy. I couldn't think of nobody else. I really could not.
Aww. Y'all, Jasmine gave me the idea for this. She was like, girl, we both mad. You want to do this together?
For real, like, I need to talk to somebody about this. Okay.
Yeah.
They tried it. They tried it.
Yeah. So, all right, y'all. I'm going to hit y'all with the Amanda Seals, and then we're out of here.
As a daughter of an immigrant, it is imperative that Black people from other places understand the disparate difference that they exist from Black people in the United States. It is not the same.
period. And ultimately, the best effort that we can do as a diaspora is to lead in understanding, not in judgment. So when I am talking to somebody from Sudan, from the Congo, from Angola, I am listening to understand their experience, not to undermine it. And I refuse to allow anybody from Grenada, from Angola, from any other place to come and try to undermine the experience of Black Americans.